Так, привет. Я вообще собирался уйти еще в 11, чтобы успеть по делам к полудню. Потом перенеслась встреча. И сейчас вот только без 22 часа. Я только сейчас, так вышло, что только сейчас собрался и могу ехать. Но уже, честно говоря, не кайф. Вот прям максимально. Я не знаю, типа и стоит поехать, и не кайф. Не знаю вообще, поехать или нет. Замечательно. В рейтинг не поиграть. Просто потрясающе. И что тогда? На раку никая, в доту нельзя. Последний запуск мафии 5 декабря. Сегодня уже 21. Я бы тоже такую татуху себе набил. Прям кайф. Бля, ничего не кайф. Странно. Миллион игр, а играть ни во что не кайф. Такое бывает. Бля, не знаю.
There's no feeling more intense than starting over. If you deleted your homework the day before it was due, as I have, or if you left your wallet at home and you have to go back after spending an hour in the commute. If you won some money at the casino and then put all your winnings on red but it came up black. If you got your best shirt dry cleaned before a wedding and then immediately dropped food on it. If you won an argument with a friend and then later discovered that they just returned to their original view. Starting over is
Очень
harder than
расслабляющая
starting up.
игра.
If you're not ready for that,
Обожаю ее.
like if you've already had a bad day, then
Музыка
what you're about to
такая.
go through might be too much.
Как в
Feel free to go
магазинах.
away and come back. I'll be here.
Бля, вот ненавижу эти
Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip.
настройки
I'll understand if you have to take a break
сразу
at any
после
time.
установки.
Just find
Они
a safe place to
калечные,
stop
просто
and quit the
пиздец.
game. Don't worry, I'll save your progress, always. Even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking. The author of that game was Jazuo, a mysterious Czech designer who was known at the time as the father of B games. And B games are rough assemblages of found objects. Designers slap them together very quickly and freely, and they're often too rough and unfriendly to gain much of a following. They're built more for the joy of building them than as polished products. In a certain way, Sexy Hiking is the perfect embodiment
It's
of a B game.
orange. Is
It's built almost entirely out of found and recycled parts, and it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly games of its time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a mountain with a hammer. And that act of climbing, in the digital world or in real life, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor. No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. Some cliffs are too sheer or too slippery, and the player is constantly, unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything. Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this dead tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over that. Tree, and a lot of people never got past it. You prod and you poke at it, exploring the limits of
Я,
your
короче,
reach
понял,
and your
что
strength, trying to find a way up and
я
over.
случайно
And there's a sense of truth
вместо
in that
начать
lack of
трансляцию
compromise. Most obstacles in video
нажал
game
начать
worlds are
запись.
fake. You can be completely confident in your ability to get through them once you have the correct method or the correct equipment or just by spending enough time. In that sense, every pixelated obstacle in Sexy Hiking is real. The obstacles in Sexy Hiking are unyielding, and that makes the game uniquely frustrating. But I'm not sure Jazuo intended to make a frustrating game. The frustration is just essential to the act of climbing, and it's authentic to the process of building a game about climbing. A funny thing happened to me as I was building this mountain. I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard. But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was my fault as a player rather than as a builder. Imaginary mountains build themselves from our efforts to climb them, and it's our repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into something real. When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas, and that can be like working with quickset cement. You mold your ideas into a certain shape that can be played with, and in the process of playing with them, they begin to harden and set until they're immutable, like rock. And at that point, you can't change the world, not without breaking it into pieces and starting fresh with new ideas. For years now, people have been predicting that games would soon be made out of prefabricated objects, bought in a store and assembled into a world. And for the most part, that hasn't happened, because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that they're badly made.
Куда ты прыгаешь?
although a
Ты
lot of
что,
them are.
ебанутый?
I mean they're trash in the way that food becomes trash as soon as you put it in the sink. Things are made to be consumed and used in a certain context, and once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds. Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital landfill that we call the internet. It now vastly outnumbers and outweighs the things that are fresh and untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium, the lingua franca of the digital age. And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. Be games, be movies, be music, be philosophy. Maybe this is what digital culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain.
Ты конченый, блядь.
Everything we ever thought of in it. Grand, infinite, and unsorted. There's 3D models of breakfast,
Блядь.
Gen X's fanfic novels, Scan magazines, green screen Shia
Думал, я
LaBeouf,
за 5
and
минут
stuff
пройду.
scenes on LiveLeak. Facebook's got lifelike bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of
Вообще,
Kanye
блядь.
and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed gifs,
Сорвавшийся
Russian dashcam
руфер.
vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled,
I'm
rotten,
done.
untitled. Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons, and we hit refresh. And there's years of persevering disappearing into the pile, out of style, out of sight. In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things? When games were new, they wanted a lot from you. Daunting you, taunting you, resetting and delaying you. Players played stoically. Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly, a quick fix for the fickle, some tricks for the clicks of the feckless. But that's not you, you're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat. Now I know, most likely you're watching this on YouTube or Twitch, while some dude with 10 million views does it for you. Like a baby bird being fed chewed up food. That's culture too. But on the off chance that you're playing this, what I'm saying is, trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable. What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it if you got this far. Feeling frustrated? It's underrated. An orange is sweet, juicy fruit locked inside a bitter peel. That's not how I feel about a challenge. I only want the bitterness. It's coffee. It's grapefruit. It's licorice.
Бля, насколько это все долго, что даже комментатор заглох. Но здесь уже сорваться нереально. Это ж кем нужно быть, чтобы здесь сорваться? Все, игра пройдена.
It feels like we're closer now. Composer and climber, designer and user.
Слишком
You could
легко.
have refused, but you didn't. There was something in you that was hidden, that chose to continue.
С первого раза. Сука. Со второго раза. Оп. Кончено.
It means a lot to me that you've come this far, endured this much. Every wisecrack,
Ну,
every
здесь с этих
insensitivity,
шаров невозможно
every setback
скатиться.
you've forgiven me is a kingly gift that
Это
you've
уже
given me.
невозможно. Все, игра пройдена.
We have the same taste, you and I. It's not ambition. It's ambition's opposite. An obdurate mission to taste defeat. You'll feel bad if you win, so I put this snake in for you.
Snake it for you. По кайфу. На заснеженные горы забираться. Скалолазание и все такое.
Have you thought about who you are in
Обожаю.
this? Are you the man in the pot,
Опа,
Diogenes?
с первого раза.
Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer? I think not. Where your hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. In this you're his will, his intent, the embodied resolve in his uphill ascent. Now, you've conquered the ice cliff, the platforms, the church, and the rectory, the living room and the factory, the playground, the construction site, the granite rocks, and the lakeside. You've learned to hike. There's no way.
Я все же запущу стрим.
Left to go but up, and in a moment I'll shut up. But let me say, I'm glad you came.
Так, я, короче, тупанул. Случайно, блин, нажал начать запись вместо начать стрим. Так что, короче, с этого момента поподробнее, да. Если что, я это видео выложу. Не падай, ты шо, конченый? Люблю заснеженные горы, карабкаться по ним. Блять, давай быстрее, ты с первого раза сюда залез, ебать. С одной попытки. С первой же. Так, перерыв. Сиди там. Расслабляет. Вот как эта игра может не расслаблять? Чисто по кайфу забираешься на гору. ГГВП.
I dedicate this game to you, the one who came this far. I give it to you
Всё,
with
ГГВП.
all my love.
Думал пройти за 5, в итоге, блядь, ровно 14 минут.